Okay, so the third test we're going to perform here is for the chlorine. We are going to test the chlorine in the water, okay? So we have our tap water with the red seal and our purified water from the bottled water with the blue seal, okay? What we are going to use to test the chlorine in the water is called OTO, okay? If any of you have pools, you know exactly what OTO is. What OTO does is it measures the amount of chlorine in the water if it's in excess. So if your water doesn't turn any colors, if it stays clear, remains clear, there's no chlorine. There's no chlorine or traces of chlorine found. However, if it starts turning colors and it turns like a dark yellow, an orange, or a dark brown, then you have way too much chlorine in your water and it's time to start doing something about it, okay? So what we're going to do is test both of these and see how much chlorine there is, okay? So what we're going to do is put 5 drops of OTO into each cup, okay? So this is the purified water. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll shake it up a little bit. And into the tap water. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So we're going to shake both of these up. Here's the blue. Oops, spilled it a little bit. And we're going to continue, clean that up, to shake this one. Now you can already see that it's changing color, right? So that means it's detecting the chlorine in the water. Okay, so right now the chlorine is the tap water is a lighter yellow, but it probably will continue to get darker and darker as time goes along. Okay, so this is not good for you. Unfortunately, this is exactly what you're using to wash your vegetables, to cook your food. That is if you use, not everyone uses tap water, so I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people do. They use I use tap water to wash my vegetables, to cook my food, or I did until I found out about this. So the problem with this is that it gets absorbed. So it's not just that you're washing your vegetables with water that has chlorine in it. It absorbs the chlorine and it leaves the water clean, okay? So the best way that I can show this to you is to put a piece of onion, okay? This is what we use to cook. It's just a piece of onion. We use this to cook almost everything. So we put it into the water. Okay, so we have the OTO in this water, right? This shows us the amount of chlorine. And, you know, this might take a couple minutes, but you'll see as time goes on, what's going to happen is the onion is going to start to absorb all that chlorine and it's going to leave the water looking clean. So you can already start to see a little bit of a difference. But I'll leave this here just so you can see again, the purified water has nothing in it. Okay, it's still, no matter how many times I shake it or move it around, there's nothing. It's still clean. There aren't any traces of chlorine that have been found in this water. Okay, so I do want to leave this here. I really don't want to stop the video, but I do want to leave this here so that you can see as it goes changing color. In the meantime, we were waiting on I really want to make sure that you can see this. Let's see if we can push this back. So we'll leave that right there so you can see I'm not doing anything to it. I'm just leaving it there, okay? In the meantime, let's go back to our precipitation test. So in the test before, I told you it takes about 5 minutes for the chemical to have the reaction, right? So this was our purified water where we put the iodine and the manganese. And as you can see, it looks exactly the same as when it had the iodine in it. There's no impurities that it can find. It looks really clean. It's clean water, okay? Now here, this is our tap water. So you can see how cloudy it looks. You can see, I'm trying to focus the video in on it, but you can see all the little specks of just stuff that's in there. It's pretty gross, okay? Now if you compare these two, you can really see the difference. Okay, so the top one is really clean, nice water, and our tap water, that's what we're using. This is what I brush my teeth with every morning. This is what I use to make my coffee. This is what I use to wash my hands and my face. So it's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. It's that really shows you what kind of quality of water that we're getting, right? And that's not to say that the city doesn't try. The city does a great job in filtering the water. They really do. Unfortunately, it's not enough. So while they can provide water to us for basic needs, it's not something that we want to be consuming in our bodies every day, right? I think we can all agree on that. So let's go back to our onion here. And as you can see, oh, hold on a second here. Moving some stuff around. Okay, as you can see, it has completely soaked up the chlorine. So now the chlorine is gone, and all that's left is clean water. So all of that chlorine has gone back into the onion, and that's the same thing that happens in our bodies. The chlorine gets absorbed into our bodies. So it's not just that we're washing ourselves with water and it's coming out over ourselves, but it's getting sucked into our bodies. So that's a problem, okay? So that is the end of test 3.